London is calling, but it's not the PM. It is Hasbro with a ton of reveals from London MCM. Everything Star Wars Black Series front, GI Joe Classified Series, Marvel Legends, and some cool Transformers. I'm excited about a bunch of these, including one figure I never thought I'd see, even though it was on leaked lists. But let's talk about all these figures right now. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. It's October 25th. We do not have a PulseCon 1027. I'm upset about that because, as you know, there are only 2 more days left before my birthday, and I was loving seeing reveals come out then, but that doesn't matter because today Hasbro dropped a bunch of stuff. No need to keep hyping it up. Let's get right into it, starting with Star Wars The Black Series. They had already shown us Kyle Katarn. He is coming, going to be a fan channel on Amazon. I'm going to give you all the heads up on when all these figures are dropping, but Kyle looks pretty sweet, and I think they did a nice job. I like seeing the detachable blades. We have the motion one, we have the regular one, comes with the blaster as well. Kyle's looking pretty cool. I think they did a nice job with him. Looks like he's got that really good articulation, so he can naturally hold his lightsaber with both hands, hopefully in front of him as well. So that's pretty solid. Like the way he turned out. Then we have a 7th Sister Inquisitor. So that's pretty cool. I like that cone shape of her helmet. That looks pretty solid. You can see in the background, a little Rebels action. So that's pretty cool. Kanan, Ezra there. And it looks like there's another Inquisitor in the background. I can't quite make out who that 4th one or 2nd Inquisitor is, but she looks cool and very happy. We're getting stuff from Rebels, the video game front. This is pretty solid. Digging this, and she does look really cool. And they saw the mystery of all of those lightsaber runs too. Check this out. This is really cool. Tales of the Jedi. This, or just the Jedi in this one. Jedi Master Dooku. That is cool. I really love that series. Got an extra look at Count Dooku. Got an additional look at Ahsoka. And here you go. We got Jedi Master Dooku, not a count just yet. Check out that soft goods cape. That is solid. That's what we need, of course, every time we get a Dooku figure. And I love the fact that we have the goatee version or the bearded version and the clean shaven look for him. So if you wanted, you could use this very solid Christopher Lee head sculpt for other characters too. But I really dig this. This is a nice addition to the line because now you can get a little old school, have him and Yoda fighting whoever. Maybe now's a good reason to buy some of those Acolyte figures over on Ross and RossCon 2025. But yeah, I really dig how this figure turned out. I was hoping we would see this. So yeah, he turned out really nice. Definitely happy about him. But there's one more reveal, and this one is just as exciting. Quinlan Voss joins the line. So, man, we've got a little bit of everything, and you can see the background reference. So, this is your Clone Wars version. You can see Obi-Wan in his Stormtrooper, his Clone Wars armor in the background, too. So, that is really solid. So, they teased these lightsabers back at New York Comic Con. We did not have to wait long, which I appreciate. And Quinlan looks great. I love this head sculpt, love the face paint. That got applied really nicely. His motion blade. That's a good figure, and really happy with him. Not quite sure which day these figures come out. Basically, everything's dropping for pre-order next week, but this was a really solid rollout. I mean, I can't think of the last time when there were Star Wars Black Series figures, and I was like, yeah, I actually want every last one they showed. So all 4 of these are getting pre-ordered. Great job, Star Wars team. Now let's move over to Transformers. These photos come courtesy of tformers.com. More Combaticons. Love to see it. So you can see in the background, the new reveal is Commander Onslaught. He looks impressive. And you can see Blast Off and Brawl. So they're getting there. We've already got Vortex out. The Vortex. Shout out to all our All-American fans. But yeah, we're getting really close now to seeing Bruticus come together. And check this out. Excuse me, a little bit of scale. So you can see how he matches up with Prime and with Soundwave. And I'm very happy to see how Soundwave looks next to Prime because, you know, I'm fine with him being a little bit shorter, but I did not want him to be the same size as the Seekers. And speaking of which, now they've got me to pull the plug. I am absolutely gonna get this new Studio Series Thundercracker because you can see the scales better. I mean, I was like, I got my Studio Series Megatron. I was like, why is he towering over Starscream? This is so much better. So they've got me on the hook for all three of them. Yet again, I am a sucker, but it's fine. I'm just going to keep them in jet mode and have these as the standard bot versions of them. Onslaught looks great and really happy with how these figures turned out. So, yeah, Bruticus, he's the last one I absolutely have to get. If we get Defensor later, I'll get him. But yeah, this is between Superion, Devastator, Minosaur. Bruticus was my last essential combiner, but now we're going to get him. So I guess I can start beating the table to get Defensor. Now let's move on to GI Joe Classified series, starting with renders. We got our first one of the female Crimson Guard. Didn't take long. And you can see she's got the silver faceplate, no black one. So she's going to be more in common, or I guess you can pair her up a little bit easier with the retro Crimson Guard figure. And she looks solid. There's no change of the accessory rollout, which is great. It's just, she's just a woman. So that's solid. This looks really good. Very happy with how she turned out, of course. And then we didn't have to wait long to see because right away we've got all the accessory rollouts. Very cool there. And I like seeing how this turned out. I mean, that silver really does pop on this. And it looks like she might have a little rank there compared to our standard one. I need to check that. And I'll do that in a second. But I'm not quite sure if the regular dudes have that. Anyway, here she is rolling into action. So, how many of these will you be building up? Because I've got a solid Crimson Guard army. I've got 6 of them, all of them with the black faceplate. I need to get a retro one so I can have one in silver. But yeah, really solid. And she's got that gun with the bayonet, which I always thought was cool for the Crimson Guards. Thought it was cool for Airborne. So, very nice work with her. And then let me show you this one other look because I forgot to include this picture and I think it's important. This is going to be the only one of these that look good with the card art. So hers looks really cool. Charging in action, Cobra the enemy, of course. The solid stuff. Now let's move on to some of these other ones. Crazy Legs gets his render, and we've been waiting on him. I've been waiting on him. He got a really cool version, his Night Force version with the Dragonfly. And I always thought that figure looked so cool when we get classic colors. I'm just going to keep him as another Joe because with that, he looks different enough. Not quite sure what I'm thinking about this yelling head sculpt. I mean, this does match his card art. He's jumping out. And, you know, for an action scene, this is cool. But I mean, I wish he had a separate non yelling head sculpt. I do like this. I think this is cool. But, you know, when he's ready. I mean, I guess when Roadblock is making up some food, this will work as well. But you know, if you're just sitting there listening to Flint or Beachhead, it's like, yes, sir. So he's got that going for him. No parachute this time, but I think they did a nice job with my guy Crazy Legs. You can see this card art. I am not loving this, and I want the artist to come forward and be like, yeah, this is me. So I'm not just attributing this up to AI because not loving it. Now you can see his harness, his gun does fit there, and I need to check to see if my Knife Force version can actually do that because I did not check that out. But he's got all this gear. I know some people are not happy that he is getting a retro card. He's not going to have a box. He's not going to be numbered, but I'm opening up all my figures. So apologies to all of you men on card collectors who are having a debate in terms of getting this figure or not. But he looks good. And yeah, I don't know. Am I gonna need to have a default other head sculpt for him? Looks good though. I like those colors. The gray, the red, the brown. I think it mixes it up a little bit better than the original version. So I like that here. But yeah, I'm happy with how he turned out. Again, outside of and I love the yelling expression. It's just it won't work for everything. Moving on. Last look here. 2-1, I was really looking forward to seeing. Zap, my guy, another original 13 member. And Zap is cool. They didn't do anything wow with the colors and then give them different color pants. It's just solid green. And I mean, we don't have to mix it up. And I know Hasbro's like, we got to jazz these guys up. You don't. Their original 13 and their green is just fine with me. Got a little gritted teeth expression. And again, I'm not sure if I need that with my figures. Just keep them neutral. I don't need anybody like, whatever you say, Colonel Hawk. Just basic head sculpt, which works for any expression in any scenario. He's got his pistol, he's got his shells, of course, he's got his launcher, and he's got the cartoon gun as well, in case you want to have him just act like he's in part of the cartoon. I'll use a little more grease. So very happy to see that. But gosh, this card art is terrible. I mean, they're encouraging you open these figures up because you don't want to look at this card art anymore. But yeah, just not a fan of those. So you can see all his gear. Here's what that gritted teeth looks like. So it really translated pretty well from the render. No problem. I mean, it's not a dumb looking gritted teeth expression. It works. He's got his unique harness, the same as short fuse, and just one solid green. That's all I needed. So maybe I'll use this one and I can swap the hands, give this to short fuse as well, because the different colors kind of throwing me off, but whatever. Very cool looking figure and very happy to get Zap to the line here. Classic pose. I mean, this is how you're going to probably have Zap in your collection, in your display, all set, ready to go, taken out of his tank, taken out whatever. Very cool. And glad to get another original 13 member added to the squad now. And I think the plan is still to get them all wrapped up next year. So it'll be very cool. I'm going to have them in the center of my first GI Joe shelf. My second one's going to have the 84, 85, and so on. But yeah, very cool. Speaking of so on, we got some name only reveals. Zanya, she is Zartan's daughter. She got introduced in the non-Larry Hama version of GI Joe. She's all right as a character. I don't have a particularly fond or negative thought about her. She's all right as a character. And it's nice to have another Dreadnought to add to your collection. I don't know if I'm gonna bring her on and have her be Zartan's daughter, or maybe she's just gonna be a regular Dreadnought. But you can see her here with everyone that we have so far, except for Zanzibar, who we do need. So hopefully we'll see him soon enough because it's pretty cool having a mass amount of Dreadnoughts. She's not gonna be by herself though. So it looks like the new target focus for 2026 is going to be GI Joe Ninja Force. You're welcome. Who's excited about this? And the first one is going to be Ninja Force Zartan. And boy, this look is wild. And see, the interesting thing is, I've always thought this design looked cool for just a regular rando dreadnought, not for Zartan. It's a huge departure from his original look. The mohawk is absolutely what's causing that. And it does look a little weird with the figure because he's got that orange face paint and the orange mohawk, and it's a little bit different on the card art. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably bite, get this, and just call him, I don't know, bow and arrow or shaft. I mean, that's an original name for a guy. That's an archer, but he's gonna be a different dreadnought, even though this is Zartan. I may lose the face paint, but he's coming to the line. Another name only reveal was Hydro Viper, and the Hydro Viper is one of the cooler looking Cobra Vipers. It is a little bit later, but man, love this design. That helmet is so sweet. And I'm curious to see if we're going to get a figure that looks closer to the card art in terms of the colors, because this darker black vest, this is just all magenta basically. This would look really cool done in these colors with that purple and this crazy looking sinister mask. Of course, he's got, what is this, a Murray as well? So yeah, another character with a pet, but I don't know if he really needs a big one. So this is going to be one I'm really looking forward to get. Maybe I'll army build, get like 4 of these because I just thought they looked so creepy and they look different enough from the regular eels that, I can just have them be totally different characters. So watch out wetsuit, watch out torpedo, watch out random GI Joe divers. And finally, on the GI Joe front, we get these guys. I mean, we have Mercer, so it was just a matter of time before we saw official confirmation of Red Dog and Taurus. So we're getting them added to the line. Maybe we'll get Taurus with a bloody thumb after he cuts his thumb with his blade. not the sharpest. And he's got to have his little baton stick as well. So good to see that. There'll be a two-pack joining Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer. Very good. We'll get the whole crew relatively soon. So excited to see that. Speaking of figures I was excited about, let's move on to Marvel Legends because there were a ton of them. First up, let's get these Spider-Man retro wave figures out of the way, starting with my least favorite. This is a retro Spider-Man Venom or Spider Venom. He comes with the chain. This is something relatively new in the comics. This is where I'm really appreciative of not having to get a Build-A-Figure wave because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Yeah, I mean, it looks all right. It's fine, but it's just sure, Spider-Man, black and white. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the chain's kind of cool, but thanks. I'm so glad I don't have to buy this figure. Then we've got another one that I'm just like, thanks. Uncanny Spider-Man Nightcrawler. And again, it's like, thanks. Now, you note here, he comes with the little effect, the BAMF piece, because it's Nightcrawler rocking a different outfit. So I do appreciate the fact that there's a new accessory in the mix here. Here's a better view of that. So you can see it. And they put a lot of work into this figure. The sculpting on the arms, the legs, the whole outfit. I mean, this is a cool looking variant of Spider-Man. I mean, they put some time into it. So I appreciate that. Don't have any interest in the character. And I forgot to show you this additional look at Spider Venom. So you can see the chain a little bit further, see its range and all that good stuff. So there you go. And then next up, we got Hypno Hustler coming to the line. And I'm so glad they didn't go with some, hey, here's the most modern look for this guy. They gave him the white outfit, they gave him the pink. And man, this outfit is so garish and so ridiculous. I love it. So check the boots. They've got the lasers and the goggle. I mean, the goggles with the hypnotizing effect. I mean, this is just so clean. And because this outfit is just basically white, I feel like they could just use this again for Moses Magnum. Maybe he's a little bit too slender for him, but if we never get another option or opportunity to get him, we can use this as a base. So this guy works. And check out that afro, man. Check, it's so good. I'm so happy to see this figure. It's just crazy. He's going for the deep pose because he is hyped. So of course, we're gonna have him going against Hobby, a little bit of showmanship with Dazzler. We're gonna have a whole rock band with these guys. Cold Slither is gonna be amazing. So very cool. Next up is one that I'm also thrilled to finally see joining the line. It's the Owl. And this is cool because you can see his outfit and they can just basically reuse this later for Mastermind. Classic look. And he's gonna be held in a two-pack with whatever. I don't care. We finally get the whole Brotherhood of Evil Mutants together, but let's talk about Owl. Great. We finally get somebody else to fight Daredevil, and you can see here that he's got the claw, and that's at least, I guess that's a swappable hand. Yeah, we can see here. So swappable hands. So two claws on. Let me just zoom this in a little bit better so you can actually see. Now, the quality, of course, gets dropped as I zoom in a little bit more, but you can see claws here, claws on both hands, and then the really curled fingers, which look cool for him. And he's got Hootie Hoo with him. Just joking. But that's really fun. I love the fact that they're getting us other characters. And this one really makes a lot of sense. And he can fight Spider-Man. He can fight Daredevil. So very happy to see that moving right along. This is a cool variant. And I was kind of like, whatever, when they showed off the game, the X-Men arcade game Sentinels, because they were appropriately scaled because they weren't taller than them. But sorry, let's go back. Hopefully we'll just act like you didn't see that when I get back to that. But here are the Sentinels, and you can see they've got some different looks. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe what I could do here is buy this pack and have the blue and red as my Sentinels and use the green and purple as Doombots because it kind of would look like they would work in that capacity too. And you can see they're basically just color swap from the original ones. I'm not sure if I would have preferred to get a two-pack of just one color and just keep going that way, but this is fun. I like the ability to actually keep mixing that up, so very cool. I'm glad they did this for people who are enjoying these Sentinels. I think this is a really fun two-pack, so we'll see if they keep doing more of them. Now for the figure you've already seen, diamond version Emma Frost. What I thought was really funny was seeing comments online. People are excited about this figure, and I'm like, it's the same figure y'all were griping about before. It's the same figure that I was griping about. This Emma Frost is not a great mold. The cape is still a huge issue. She can't pose because the cape, the way it flows, just stops any articulation above where the cape meets. And I'm talking about right here. She can't move her arms up. In diamond form, she's not really using her telepathic ability. She's using more physicality. She's punching people. Now, some eagle-eyed fans, of course, notice on this upper left, hey, there's Onslaught. Yeah, there's Cannonball. There's Cypher. Are we gonna see them in the line? That'd be great. I'd love to see them. That way I don't have to use my sunspot to try to customize these guys over and over again. But this figure, I'm like, the same issues that existed before are still prevalent. I think the effect looks great. I think they did a pretty good job with her crystal form, and she can look a little bit more translucent than our Iceman figures. And I think this is cool. I like these head sculpts. Let's get them with a new, better articulated Emma Frost because she's got a great smirk. Looks like she's got another angry face. I think maybe this is the original one, but this is great. I love that. And maybe they could have just done this one like a and given us a third head sculpt where this one's painted because this really has more of Emma's, charm and her whole demeanor. I think that would have been really cool. And here is a little bit more. I mean, so you can see Shooting the Galaxy was challenged trying to figure out ways to make this a dynamic looking figure because she can't do anything. This cape is going to weigh her down. Good luck keeping her standing as well. So, I mean, this is a cool idea for a variant, but it's just, and when I say a cool idea, this is a really nice concept. But the figure is just so restricted by the original setup, and they did not do anything to improve it. They just gave her a cool alternate head sculpt, a fun little power effect gimmick, but that's it. The same issues remain, and I wish it were better, but there you go with that one. So that's all the reveals. I think what really stood out to me, one of the ones I was most excited about, the Black Series. That Quinlan Voss, the Jedi Master Dooku, Kyle, which we already saw, but I was excited to see him, see all of his effects. And then Zap, of course, a figure I've really been looking forward to as they're going further into the original 13. Crazy legs, pretty solid. Got other head options, so I'm not going to keep griping about that head sculpt selection. Hypno Hustler and Owl. So a lot of cool reveals. And then more Combaticons. Very good stuff. So great showing. Thank you, Dan, for Dan is trying for showing us. Dan Yoon is trying, and Dan showing us as well those figures. Preternia, Full Force Podcast. I appreciate y'all doing the hard work out there. For those of us who can't make it out to check out all of these fun events, and I just want to make sure to show you everybody who was helping on that. So let me make sure to do that before I close this bad boy up. Let me see here. Because, we all want to get our credit for doing stuff, right? Right. So let's do this. And here we go. Here's Dan, part of the marketing team. So you can see that. And he tweeted out something that was pretty funny earlier. I worked my bird, man. So there you go. Got that. Very cool. So good stuff. Really excited about these reveals. Now, how are we going to get all of them? You might be wondering. The Drop Zone for Entertainment Earth, one of my affiliates, has a bunch of stuff coming. Stay tuned, get ready, because here it is. So, October 27th, a great day in history. We get our first onslaught of figures. They go up at 1 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, and then 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. Then we got more on October 28th. Another set of figures are going up. Then the 29th. Then on Thursday. So it's going to be a week full of Marvel pre-orders. So get ready. Let me see if Dan posted when these figures are actually coming out because I'm waiting on my press release officially from Hasbro. So the retro card Spider-Man lineup is going up on pre-order on Wednesday. So get ready for those. Let me see if I've got anything else on the shows. When are they going up? They're going up for pre-order. Let me check one other deal here. These are going to go up for pre-order on, darn it, I do not have that date. Oh boy, I was really trying to find that. And then Dan Who is the other guy that I was trying to remember. The other Dan. Thank you, Dan Who, for posting those. But it's a week of stuff, so stay tuned. Lots of exciting reveals and pre-orders coming up. I will post all those links as always. Let me know which are your favorites, which ones got you excited and hyped up. Let me know all the good stuff because there's a bunch of stuff dropping our way. As always, thank you so much for watching. Got a party to get ready for. This episode of Louse Figure Files has been filed.